So here we are, another unboxing, and this time, the Alienware 16 Area-51. Now, I have really been looking forward to this one. I loved the X16R2, but the colour scheme wasn't really for me. This one looks stunning. Now, we've previously unboxed the Alienware 18, and I will put a link to that down in the description below, just in case you missed it, and they are very similar. So let's take a quick look inside this model. So, opening the box, you got the Be More Alien sort of slogan, and we can see on the right-hand side, we have the power adapter, which, like the 18 that I've just had, is a 360 watts. Bit of weight on there, but at least it's sort of rounded, so it's quite nice and comfortable to hold. The UK power cable, because I am in the UK. The laptop itself. So let's put that to one side. Then we have information about the laptop, the Alienware stickers, some safety regulation leaflets, and just information about Alienware and all their contact information. So let's now quickly pop that to one side and let's open up the laptop itself. So you can see it is wrapped. They've got rid of the box now. We just have this sort of strange cardboard packaging. I'm guessing to be sort of recycling friendly. I did use like the old box though. Now, whilst I'm doing this, I do want to ask if you are interested in seeing the full review or any details on the 18 and any other gaming laptops, please consider subscribing. Got plenty more content coming up. We'll be working hard on these laptops for the next week or two. So opening this itself, we are greeted with the Alienware 16. Now, it looks absolutely stunning. This is the liquid teal new finish that they've got. It's like a very dark teal, and depending on the lights, is how you're going to sort of see the sort of, the actual colour of it. It looks really beautiful. Again, it's going to be a bit of a fingerprint magnet like all of these sort of glossy laptops, but being dark, hopefully it's not going to be too bad. Now we've got the Alienware logo on the top and the black sort of translucent plastic rear vent, which is going to glow, so we'll fire this up in a second. Now, I want to just quickly talk about the ports. On the left-hand side, we have got a power jack and a full-size SD card slots. So pleased that they've moved those to the side this year, because they were on the back on the X16 and it was horrible to get to those ports, especially that headset jack, because it was always getting caught behind the actual screen. Then we've got some venting on that side for the cooling system, venting on the other side with no ports. Now, I would have liked to have seen a USB or a USB-C on the side, but all the rest of the ports are on the back. So we can got the power adapter, an HDMI 2.1, 2 Thunderbolt 5 ports, and 3 USB-A ports. That is a great range of ports, but I'd just say I would have liked one on the side for those regularly plugged in peripherals, but at least having them on the back does get a very clean laptop experience when it's sitting on your desk, especially if you use one of these as a desktop replacement. Then we can see we've got 2 rear vents, as well as the 2 on the side, and these have got a nice sort of curve on the actual rear sort of fan grille. On the bottom, again, we've got that lovely liquid teal colour, some intake vents, then the glass shelf. Now this raises up slightly on the bottom so that you can actually sort of lift up the laptop a little bit to give it a bit of clearance. And obviously the glass, Gorilla Glass, I believe, covering the actual vapour chamber and fan system, which will light up and we'll check in a second. Now it has got a little vent here as well, and it also has venting in through the top of the keyboard. Just isn't a laptop you're going to want to be gaming with it closed on your desk. We've got the whole rubber strip along the front and then some other strips around this window and a couple of downward firing speakers to go with the 2 upward firing. So before we open it up, let's just quickly check out the weight because it is quite hefty. So the laptop itself, we're talking 3.27 kilograms. So it is quite hefty for a 16-inch. When we add in that chunky power supply, that takes up to 4.2 kilograms. So this is quite a beast, but with the amount of equipment inside this, you kind of understand it. Now in the UK, they don't really get a choice with the model we're buying. So this is the 5080 with the Intel 275HX. But if you are in the United States, you can go right away from a 5070 Ti right up to a 5090. Price-wise, this was £3,500 in the UK. They start about £3,200 in the States. Okay, so I have already set up Windows, so we don't have to go through all the Windows update, which does take quite a while. But the laptop will automatically power on when you open the lid. I'd imagine you can change that in BIOS, you always used to be able to. We will check that later on. And they have now changed the alien head sort of loading logo, which I really like. Looks much nicer as you're loading up the machine. Simple little touches, but it does look nice. Now, like with the 18, we get Windows Hello facial recognition. So let me just quickly wait for that a second. And turn that to me. And we're in. You'll notice we get the new Alienware backdrop this year, the desktop wallpaper. It looks fantastic and really fits in with this new design of Alienware laptops. Now, because this is the 16-inch version, we do not get the number pad. You'll see that we've got slightly bigger speaker grills to the sides and just a standard keyboard without the number pad, but we do get some special keys on the end, which is your volume up, down, and your mute microphone, which is quite nice. We don't get the alien head power button, we just get a standard power button. That's something I do think is a bit of a shame. And on the 16-inch, it's a much smaller trackpad. It does light up, it is glass and feels great, but it's quite small compared to the 18-inch and definitely small compared to some of the other brands out there. Personally, I so rarely use a trackpad, that's actually perfect for me. I'd much rather use a mouse. Now, the actual palm rest is a nice smooth finish with the same liquid teal material that they've used on the rest of the actual shell. It does look great, but you will pick up some fingerprints. And the keyboard, I've got the standard UK keyboard with the dome switches. You can also configure it with that mechanical keyboard that you have done for the last few years. And that is a fantastic option. I just wanted the UK keyboards this year, but even just the standard keyboard feels fantastic. Now, with regards to the RGB lighting, the keyboard can be fully customized in Alienware Command Center. We've also got the lit fans, which do shine right through the glass window at the bottom. And as we look to the rear of the laptop, you'll notice we've got the lit alien head and that lovely translucent grille just sort of shines through here. And by default, they put it on a standard sort of like cyan, which really sort of matches in well with the actual color of the laptop, but you can change all of that to your sort of needs. Now, I love this new effect on this actual grille. It looks really muted, but really classy. Much better than the really bright mini LED we used to have. Although I liked that, it was very difficult to find your ports with that really sort of glaring that light out of there. So all in all, I'm really loving the design this year with these new Area-51 laptops, and definitely a good step forward for Alienware. Now, as you can see, either side of the actual keyboard, we do have speaker grills. The speakers sound like this. Speaker test of the Alienware 16 Area-51, starting at 50% volume. And now 80%. And finally 100%. So there we go. The quality seems very similar to the Alienware 18, but it didn't get anywhere near as loud. But overall, they're not too bad. Then above, we've got a lot of air intake grills here. You will want to keep this laptop open when you're gaming. Don't close it and use an external display because it does draw in quite a lot of that cool air through the top. Now, as we move up to the display, we do get reasonable sized bezels like on the Alienware 18 and the Alienware logo below. And the screen is now finally a 500 nit display. It's 2560 by 1600 and 240 Hertz. Plenty bright enough at last, but it is IPS. I know there's gonna be a lot of disappointed people out there that would have wanted the OLED or the mini LED, but it is at least 500 nits this year. And this is an area that I really wish Alienware would listen to their customers and offer different upgrades, such as an OLED display or a mini LED display, as well as this IPS panel for those people that do want a higher end display with these very expensive laptops. Now, me personally, I'm happy with an IPS now that it's 500 nits. The previous year's 300 nits was just not bright enough, and it was something that really put me off the Alienware designs. 500 nits is perfect, but I would have liked to see more display options. Now, above the display, we get a 4K webcam this year, which is a nice upgrade. It looks and sounds like this. So this is a test of the webcam and the microphones on the new Alienware 16 Area-51. This is the upgraded 4K webcam. Let me know what you think of the quality of this one down in the comment section down below. Does this really feel like a 4K webcam? Love to know your thoughts. And as I mentioned, we get the Windows Hello facial recognition, which is my favourite way of logging into Windows. So now we've looked around the laptop, I'm going to just move it over to the gaming desk, and we're going to do some actual gaming and just see what the thermals are like, look at Alienware Command Center, and sort of see what the fan noise is like. So let's just quickly swap it over. Okay, so we're set up on the gaming desk, and I've got the machine fully updated. Probably looking pretty tired by now, but we have started running some tests. So just to let you know where we are, we're running it in dedicated Nvidia mode with G-Sync turned on, Windows balance profile, and in Alienware Command Center, we're running it in the performance mode. Now, like the Alienware 18, plugged in my Pro mouse, picked up perfectly within the Alienware Command Center. Temperatures seem a little bit warmer straight away on this 16 than the 18. You can see straight away the 60 degrees on the CPU and 50 on the GPU is definitely a little bit warmer than we were getting on that bigger 18. But bear in mind as well, this has been heavily utilized running a few benchmarks already. Running Geekbench 6 to test both the single core and the multi-core, we actually got some very good results and scored just slightly higher than the Alienware 18, which was quite a surprise. Both set up in exactly the same way. So 2977 for that single core, a really good single core score that we get with these new Intel processors, and 19,019 on that multi-core. Now this is quite a fast test, so I'm sure when we're running Cinebench R24 later, that 10-minute torch test will probably be lower on the 16 than the 18, but this is something we will be testing. Also, in TimeSpy, the CPU performed very well, slightly better than the 18, which was surprising, but the GPU was very slightly slower at 21,877. We were getting just over 22,000 on the 18. Either way, there's probably margin of error, but that's something we'll be testing fully for the long-term reviews. So as you can see, we're in performance mode now, and we're going to start doing some actual gaming. I've got MSI Afterburner up and running now, so it can show the stats on the screen with the wattage showing that CPU, which we didn't do yesterday on the 18, but we will do for future videos. Again, I'm going to run some finals. Now the machine's already quite warm because we've been running a few benchmarks already, but we'll get into the game and we're going to check the actual temperatures, the frames per second, and the fan noise. So as you can see, we're loading up the finals. This does heavily peg the CPU, especially when we're doing the shaders. It's drawing over, well, about 150 watts on that CPU at the moment. And as you can see, the temperatures are getting pretty toasty at 105C. We were not seeing that on the Alienware 18. They were much better on the temperatures. But this is a much more compact chassis. So you can see we're pre-compiling the shader pipelines. Again, 83% on that CPU, 104 degrees C, 163 watts on that CPU. So we are hammering the CPU here, but that is running very hot. Fans are now kicking up on just CPU load. Let's see what we're doing. So about 54 decibels hammering that CPU, and I can feel the heat coming out of the laptop. So definitely this smaller chassis is going to be a lot more thermally constrained than the Alienware 18. So the finals we're going to set up again, 1600p, no upscaling, epic settings. Let's see how we get on. Okay, let's go. So straight away we can see we're getting over 100 frames per second with no upscaling, which is nice. Fully epic settings, and it is quite a demanding game when you sort of crank those settings up. Now, as we're playing, you can see I'm using about 95% of the GPU, and we're doing about 160 odd watts at the moment. CPU-wise, 80 degrees, and we're using about 50 odd watts. So this seems okay. Pretty much what I'd expect for a sort of slimmer laptop. It's sort of bouncing around a bit. So we've been playing for quite a while now, and as you can see, the temperature's sitting in the 70s. We're not at max fans, and we're using, I'd say, about 40 watts up to 50 watts of power. So that's not too bad, because this is a slim and light laptop, but I wonder how we're going to get on when we're using some of the heavier profiles. Now, with regards to the fan noise, let's just quickly hide somewhere for a second. So we're talking about 53 decibels on this performance mode. Now let's just see how hot we're getting. So as you can see here, we're about 40 odd degrees across the keyboard, 42 in the center, definitely hotter than the 18. As we're coming across, we're dropping into the 30s. Palm rest itself, absolutely cool, so no issues putting your hands on the palm, but you will feel a little bit of warmth around the middle of the keyboard. As we come up to the top, again in the 40s, 46, where obviously the heat is pushing out. And if we look to the way that it's venting out the side, 42 on the left side, and again, 43 on the right side. If you have got your hand up against the side of the laptop, it feels quite warm. That's going to probably annoy somebody if you're playing really close to the laptop itself. Where I've got my mouse over here on the touchpad, I'm not noticing it, but if I was up beside the laptop, that would be probably a bit uncomfortable. Well, I do want to say that, I've been playing this for a while now, and it is certainly a comfortable gaming experience. Definitely, as I say, it's slightly hotter and slightly louder than the Alienware 18, but I think, if you're looking for that portability, it's still very enjoyable to game on the go. So there we go, that's the gaming performance so far. Pretty impressive. Only really been testing the performance profile. For the full review, we will be testing every profile and seeing how far we can push this actual laptop. Want to mention as well, whilst I'm still in Command Center, I have switched this to the Rainbow Wave, which does look fantastic. I really like the look of the Rainbow Wave. It certainly fits in with our backdrop, which I really like. There's plenty of other options as well. So when you're clicking on Anywhere Command Center, you can click on all your zones. And as you can see, we do have quite a few different options here. And just save the preset. And we can change the color scheme. We can change the complete color scheme of the laptop itself. You can do individual keys because this is a per key RGB keyboard. So that's something that you can muck around with to your heart's content. Personally, I really just like using some of the presets, especially that Rainbow Wave. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. I also want to mention that if we look at the task manager here, like the Alienware 18, this also comes with the fast 32GB of 6400 megatransfer RAM kits. This is something we're going to try upgrade ourselves soon as well, so if we can push it up to 128GB. And we also managed to get in the UK a Gen 5 2TB SSD with this model. So that is really nice to see. It's nice that we're finally starting to get Gen 5 drives delivered with the laptops. Again, we will be upgrading all of the SSD slots in a future video. Well, that's our first impressions of the Alienware 16 Area-51. It certainly is a really good leap in performance over previous X16s. Now I'm going to drop a link to the 18-inch unboxing in the description down below as well, just in case you missed that one that we released yesterday. And there's going to be plenty more videos on both these laptops coming up, so make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. And lastly, thank you for watching.